Today's show is Fascination Politics and Mimetic Warfare Tactics of Money and Religion on July 13th, 2026.
Not only am I intrigued by that, I'm fascinated. And it's happening on 7.13, which are separate entities because one's a month and one's a day. So these are cycles, just different kinds of cycles. But that's what we're going to get into is the fascination of cycles, actually. But it's all written out in our language and numbers. Like the date, for example, is 7/13. So you could sum that up together, it would make 20. So that's divine because it's the one after the one. And then you could also sum it up by saying 7 times 13, which is 70 plus 21. That's 91.
We will break the bond between the parent's lies and the child's eyes. The highest order attention getter or fascination is the battle with self between the eternal inceptioned self and the perishing mortal self. The ultimate drive or motive of a human is to know thyself.
Well, I guess that's a wrap then. Well, let me summarize as if I was 5 years old. So you're saying the greatest fascination or thing that grabs our attention is our own battle with our having ourselves. And you said this battle is between our internal self and our dying self? That is really fascinating. And you said the ultimate motive as a human is to know thyself. Well, you know what? I think you would want to know yourself if you're having a battle like this. I would want to know all the ins and outs, actually. Now, we've discovered the only way to know thyself is through relationships with other mortal humans and an intimate relationship with the opposite gender. The gains come from determining how others perceive us, and through intimate relationships, we have intel sharing in a much deeper level. The ultimate goal is to learn and realize one's inception, to gain the knowledge of who you are, what you are, and your relationship with the all, and your occupation of a fragment of the axis of the universe. Now we're going to have a conversation about money.
Money? What is good about a control system like money that trashes nature and your soul? And a chat user said, total digital control of human life is the end goal.
Well, we've been seeing these patents and policy papers and publications across the board since the entirety of the 20th century, and especially and more rapidly and loudly since the UN was formed after World War II, about 1945. We're now in a position where we're all being held to account for our laziness and living as dependents on a system instead of claiming our own authority. And through the natural order, we're all being held to account. So we see various manifestations of this in the world. Are you saying sudden unexplained apathy, or emotional flatness, or strange invasive dreams, or intrusive thoughts that may not be yours, or reduced desire to think about the meditative process, or be inclined towards spiritual things?
The new unexplained fatigue or fogginess, and there's more. Loss of curiosity or motivation to question what's happening. Unusual physical sensations like tingling and pressure and internal vibration. Increased compliance instincts, going along to get along.
So this is my chat partner who had cut and pasted a post we made earlier. So what he did was cut and paste this, and then here's his response after he cut and pasted that.
I got exact symptoms. Help me, bro. From what are they from? What are they? That's scary. And we gave the quotes of, you are seeing a game of fiat musical chairs. They're using sleight of hand and accounting tricks to keep the Titanic afloat a bit longer. And now chat about the escape. And a user asked, what's the cure from Satan?
Well, actually, it's in the phonetics of Satan. So Satan is actually say 10, as in the symbol 10, 1-0. So it's not say 10, it's spoken say 10, but it's say 1-0. 1-0 is on off or binary. It implies, infers, and is seen in real time as the mental construction of duality. What this means, if you are not escaping from say 10, it means you're in the clutches of say 10. It means that you have chosen to see natural order contentions that cause forms to be a conflict and a choice of one side or the other. You were very simply tricked, and to be untricked is even simpler. Who wants to try the cure?
Yes, and cycles of life and life itself are based on contentions or opposites spinning and bound to an axis. And over time, unique forms and mentalities develop into patterns that appear in three categories: the known known, the known unknowns, and the unknown unknowns. Fatalism taught by religions and Hollywood are the main cause of conflicts. Our true history is hidden and obscured. Earth was packed with alternate and predatory large animals and life forms about just 550 years ago.
So anyway, Sleepy Matt came back from his sleepy place and said, I woke up and I want the cure, please. So we have to repeat the cure here.
You were simply tricked, and to be untricked is even simpler. Say 10, say 1-0, and it means you were led to choose good and bad as choices, and unity or separation as choices, and to see natural order contention that causes forms to be a conflict and a choice of one side or the other. Politics means polytics, or many blood-sucking parasites. And for some reason, people take to the political or idols' commands and glorify them with mimicry and elections and titles and riches. How come? Are you helpless or something?
Well, we are in a way, because not only are we born to the world with no memory of our history, our parents tell us to choose our identifiers from the world masters who rule us with an iron fist. So our parents, in a way, become culpable in the crime against us. So they really are the pa plus rents.
Ma-Pa is the true observable map of creation that makes the child's game of life real and experienced. The Ma is the source, the mother, the feminine, and the Pa is the executor and protector of the source. Oldest translation of Pa, is Proto-Indo-European root, pa, which means to protect or to feed. Parents are generations of manipulations become the highest criminals in the modern world, ever since before the times of the spiritual mystic Yeshua of Christ's essence fame. And he said, I did not come in peace, so as to break the parent and the child's bond, as stated in the Bible.
So Matt's picking this up and said, so when we focus on one side or the other, is that same as focusing on good versus bad?
We said yes. Money and religions are both born from politics, same as morals and dogmas. They will do anything to restrict your freedom and power to discover the self. And our chat partner said, not peace but a sword, for I have come to set a man against his father, and daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household.
So in our household is where we mold our reality when we first come to this world, and our parents become our greatest archetypes. So Yeshua came to the world to break the lies between the parents and their children.
And we got a response of yes, agreement.
The lie is actually of fatalism, which are taught by religion and Hollywood, and then pride, which is taught by the money system.
And the response was, of which? Parents? I think most people nowadays struggle with pride, though.
Parents are upholding the world's dictates and lead us to choose our identifiers from the world's suggestions.
And they offered, which causes isolation?
Yes, and pride itself is born from the shame of that action.
We said school is designed to chase you from the unknowns and make them distasteful, to erase the child's power. Parents use words to harm the child's opportunity as a child of God. Yeshua brought a sword to bust the words, and words with S on the end, and sword with S in the beginning, with the star and you in the middle. Rebellion against the rulers is to play into their confidence game plan, to have you glorify and sanctify them, and then come for them for the lies you approved of.
So since you already approved that you would be okay with being struck down if you went against them, then when you do go against them, they will simply strike you down because you already approved it. The rebellion, quote unquote, must come from your core as a type of core rage. That phrase is the basis for the word courage. The courage to face your own eternalness and vast power, to master the continuum creative reality you were born and designed to immerse with and master.
And now we're going to walk down the road of fascination. What is it?
Fascination. Let's get to the bottom of it. It's an obvious map to the war on the human psyche. Fascination is two parts. First part, fasci. Second part, nation. It means the war against the nation, where a nation is the entirety of a human being and its potential.
The definition of fascination is to be bewitched or enchanted, i.e. to lose yourself in the enchantment or spell cast. Many things can fascinate us, and many levels of emotional weight can be added or removed to the notion of fascination. The word fascination originates in Latin, fascinatio, and others, originally linked to the idea of casting an evil spell or hex. The word was earliest used of witches and of serpents, who were said to be able to cast a spell by a look that rendered one unable to move or resist. The sense of delight, attract, and hold the attention of is recorded in 1815. To fascinate is to bring under a spell, as by the power of the eye. To enchant and to charm are to bring under a spell by some more subtle and mysterious power. This difference in the literal affects also the figurative senses, and that's from the Century Dictionary.
An earlier form in Latin is fari, F-A-R-I, meaning speak, related to fame, and the ability of fame to fascinate the glorifier. In today's world of rulers and dynasties, fascinations are used as a weapon to hold the attention of the human being, and thus remove their attention and memory of their true nature and power. Fascinations are relatives to glitters and gold and sensual delights, all of which can be used to hold the attention of the user.
And this section is called Man-Woman, and that's MW as the acronym for man-woman, or mimetic warfare, which means the repetitions of doublespeak over generations and eons of civilizations. It is used as a tactical weapon to deploy fifth-generation warfare against the populace of human beings, to capture their attentions and to remove their awareness of self and power and reason for existence. The tactics traces back to Babylon and through every civilization. The great mystics mention repeatedly that the masters of the world tell lies and create deception and illusion. The rulers blend mimetic warfare to fascination, to rule over the human mentality, and thus diminish their awareness of their physical plane and their energetic plane, making them fully exploitable and harvestable by the world rulers.
And that's why Yeshua said he did not come in peace. Yeshua's Christ awareness mission was to break the bond between the parent's lies and the child's eyes. This is the final section of today's show called What is Random? So random is a notion, like any word is a notion or it's attached to one. And the notion of random is things that don't make sense or reason just show up from nowhere for no reason at any time. But that's not really what random means. It's two parts, ran and dom, but if you break the word down, it's only rn plus dm. So that's actually the perfect acronym for repeat, nature, domain. So that's the perfection of a child, is to repeat nature and have domain over it. The child runs into nature and the unknowns and embraces it, and then repeats and repeats until it perfects itself. But in the world we live in, the child is stunted and told to adjust itself to the world.
Random in French is random, meaning speed or haste, and was first used in English in the early I-300s. In the 1650s, having no definite aim or purpose, haphazard, not sent in a special direction. The Kabbalah is very sly and operates a deception gang of double-speak to create double thinking in their victims. All the disclosures are designed to resonate with natural order, to basically appease it.
Because natural order is an operating system that behaves like a wave of rise, peak, fall, and return, and a continuum. And it always resets itself to balance and parity. It is obvious with even casual observation.
Our work and other non-sleeping souls are telling the populace what is happening here. It benefits the Kabbalah as an alternate but
Disclosure. Yes. An alternate but expected form of disclosure
that ensures all truths are available to anyone who seeks them. The one who don't seek are considered as glorifying the crime via tacit agreement and non-protest, then participating in it, and therefore exploitable by their own permission and sanctification.
Doesn't this raise your eyebrows?
Coca-Cola just signed a 5-year, $1.1 billion deal with Microsoft. 5 years ago, it was discovered that there were fluorescent nanoparticles in Coca-Cola. Now, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I might think there were more to this partnership.
Now, according to reports, Microsoft and the Coca-Cola Company have announced a 5-year strategic partnership to align Coca-Cola's core technology strategy system-wide. So it is said to enable the adoption of leading-edge technology and foster innovation and productivity globally. Using Azure Open AI service, Coca-Cola is currently exploring the use of generative AI-powered digital assistants. Now, did you know they have found nanotechnology in Coca-Cola and in Pepsi products? Have a look at this. The biodistribution study in major organs indicated that the NPs were easily accumulated in the digestive tract, and they were able to cross the blood-brain barrier and dispersed into the brain. Questions, and of course suspicions, have been raised in recent years.
So when people hear something like that, they're thinking of Pepsi products as just a Pepsi can or a Coca-Cola can, like this one. No, I don't drink this shit. This particular can has been given to my daughter to clean the stuff off the battery terminal of her truck. And it also moves rust off of old tools. So no, I don't drink it. But you have to look into what other products these companies own. And it could be energy drinks, it could be water, it could be all kinds of stuff coming out of the same plant. So just think about that. It's not, when they say these brands and these companies, it's not just those names. It's everything in the companies with those names that those companies manufacture and sell to the public. You know, the other part about this is, think about it. If you were making something for somebody to eat or drink, and you're putting all this other trash in it that you didn't know what would happen, what kind of person are you? Because that's who's doing this stuff, and the stuff that they want you to eat and drink.